Figured today is as good as a day any. Teach you about stuff. I got a massive overfueling issue. It's flooding out. So either needle jet or problem with the float. This 4412 Holly. So we've already disconnected our fuel line. We got 4 bolts each corner, top and bottom. And we'll remove this and then see what's going on. Forgot to add, when you pull these out, gas is going to come out. It is not, I repeat, not a good idea to do this if the engine's hot because it's gas. It's flammable. You can burn your ride down. So usually you want to try to catch it with something if you can. If not, let your motor cool off. The gas will come out and you can just blow it off of a hose or wash it off of a water hose or whichever. It evaporate. There ain't that much it actually comes out. But just do not do this when the engine's hot. This will ignite on this metal intake. They get so hot that it hits it. It just. All right. So now we got everything off. And remember, this is a Holley brand. So it's got 4 bolts on each bolt. If it was 4-rail, it'd have 2 sides and the same thing, quick fuel. But when you get into Eldorado, Quadrajet, so on and so forth, every carburetor gets taken apart differently. As long as you pay attention to every little piece and you're pretty good with taking something apart and cleaning it and putting it back together, you'll be doing fine. Just take your time. Let's see what we got here. See, here we got fuel bowl. We got the plate right here. Take out the last screw. Okay. So what we try to do here is get in between here, separate it. You want to break the gas. Oh shit! You're supposed to do that a little easier, but it is what it is. All right. So now we got the float, and back here is your needle jet. So this little piece right here, you can imagine it's the boat that is inside your carburetor. This needs to be able to float. Coming up, floating up, shuts off the fuel. Coming down, allows fuel to fill up within this area here. So up, off, down, on. Either my problem is going to be here because it's flooding, like this, maybe this has got fuel in it, and it is not buoyancy no more, it's heavy, or the needle jet in the backside is messed up. Let's figure it out. Now, on a Holley, you got to break loose your adjuster here, and then it turns out, it comes out. Your needle jet will be in here. So let's see what we can do. Oh, well, this ain't going to be too good one-handed. Well, I think I broke it loose, though. Yeah, see? Alright, so you can go on and take the top piece off. This is the jam nut for the adjustment. The square part down here adjusts up and down of how much fuel you carry inside the bowl. You don't want it too far up because then it overcomes the carburetor and you start eating a lot of fuel. And if you have it too far down, then the carb don't have enough fuel to run properly. It'll idle good and everything else, but once you go to like a wide open throttle situation, it can no longer keep enough fuel into the carb and starves your motor. Okay. Well, there's one gasket that didn't make it. Take this out. Now, what I'm hoping to find is like some trash on the end of this thing. Or something like that. Okay, let's see what we got here. And as you can see, right there, that is your needle jet. And it moves. Let's see if I can. Nope. It basically moves, if you can see it. See it moving up and down? See, open, close, open, close. So on the end of these things, there's a little piece of rubber. So we got to inspect that piece of rubber and see if it's bad. And sure enough, there's a piece of trash. It's caused everything. Let's see if I can get it focused good enough. Come on, camera. Y'all see that little piece of trash in there? See that right there? So something rubbery is coming apart in the carb. Right there. That's what was jamming our float. Alright, so even though our needle jet might be in good shape now that I got it cleaned out, see the cracking on the rubber there? Right there. That seals the gas from getting back up through. As you can see in here. So even with this crack right here, it would take a lot longer, but that could still allow the carburetor to flood out. So even if this needle's good right here, right now, this is bad. And I could probably just take this off and replace it with another one. But we're going to see if I have a good piece all together. I'm going to assume that this is in good shape. I don't feel really no weight to it. Nothing, so I don't believe this has went bad and gotten like a hole in it or nothing like this. And we found 2 big pieces of plastic trash, rubbery black stuff that was stuck, allowing the carburetor to flood out. Now, I'm already this far, so since I got this truck, I did put this carb on, but just the carb. I didn't do all of that gasket material stuff. So, you know what? I'm already down this far. All I literally got to do is disconnect transmission linkage, throttle linkage, and 4 bolts, and this whole carb will come off. I probably shouldn't do this. Because it works. And I'm probably going to get into a bigger mess than I want to get into when I take all this off to see what the hell's going on. But let's check it out. All right. So after you get all your linkages disconnected in your throttle spring, you have 4 bolts, 5 bolts, 10 bolts, 20 bolts, whatever, on your base plate. You remove those. Usually, see what happens? I forgot a vacuum line. So we'll just take it off from here, and we'll take this PVC valve with it. There you go. Voila, 1 carburetor. Now, I mean, that's sweet when you run out of vacuum lines, I guess. Plugs. Oh, boy. Okay. Good Lord. All right, come on. Come on. There's 1. Well, there's 1. Pretty messed up fucking gasket. There's 2. Oh, that's interesting. So they just use silicone. And look at how wet the backside is. Right? So it's been just putting fuel in here because of those little slots right there. Interesting. Okay. Okay. All right. It wiggles. Oh man, they put some silicone on this sucker. Flat screwdriver to the rescue. Let's see if we can break something. Oh, look, there it goes. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, oh Lord, look at that. I don't know if y'all can see that really well. Well, for one, okay, look at that. Huh. For two, check this out. That's where it's been. What the hell? All right, so right here you have an exhaust port, which would have been, this is like an 84. This would have been for EGR. Obviously, somebody's done their best to delete the EGR plate. It can't, you know. Oh, see, the holes don't even line up. See how they're out. So this is why I guess they had it like that. Okay, so but why didn't they? If it lines up like that, that's fine. Why not? It's like a reason that you can't. You know what? I don't know. All right, let's see what we have for parts. All right, I found something. So here we have a Pinto. 2.3, 4412, 500 Holly. Nothing wrong with this motor, but I want a V6. So I'm about to be putting a V6 in here. So I won't need the adapters that are underneath this carburetor for the V6. But if you look here, you see the big black adapters. Same as the truck, 4 bolts. And this will come off. All right, so carbs off. We got one gasket, 2 gasket, and I do believe I did put some really badass silicone on this plate because it was going down to a mating surface, but I used one that was good for gas, not just red. Well, I was trying to save it. Yeah, see, this silicone wasn't. Oh no, I used Gorilla Snot. All right, so now we've got our spacer plate. All right, let's see just how bad this looks and if it does the job we want it to do. All right, it's your home. Go to your home. Oh, it's going to be a chore to get it back off. Nope. See how the holes are oblong? I got it on wrong. All right. Spin it around. Try fitting in again. Oh, man. Look at that. Nice. Covers the exhaust port really nice over here. It's covered good in there. It's covered good in there. Yes. All right. Now, it so happened to be that one of these gaskets just maybe might do the job we're looking for here. Yeah, I really need to. Should clean all your surfaces before you do this. Really nice. sandpaper or something to make sure you're getting a good seal. But yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. That's nice. Let me set this on. Come on. Come on. There you go. Oh yeah. Very nice. Alright, so we got it all back together. We got better spacer plates down here. And it took me a while to find what I wanted to use. But that all looks better. Redid the fuel line. I found another one of these that I had to look pretty new, but I put a new O-ring on it. Now, we're going to try to start it. The key's on. I want to use the anti-theft device to start this thing. And, I expect it to fire up. But hopefully, I might have started 2 or 3 times for it pumped up for gas. But hopefully, it's not a flood. Because that's what it was doing before. I checked everything when I was putting it together. I even went down to 72 instead of 74 jet size in the 500 Holly. It's not a race truck. I just needed to have power and fuel mileage at the same time. So let's see what we get. All right. Okay, well, like I said, I kind of expected that. Let's see what we got here. What do we got going on? Come on. And I got a huge vacuum leak. So obviously, I'm not gonna, I tried to reuse some older gaskets I had around here. Obviously, this is just not gonna work. So, I'm gonna have to go to the auto parts and hope and pray somebody's got a fucking gasket. I'd imagine this is where it's coming from. Don't reuse old gaskets. Just don't do it. Well, I guess we just need to go through and get all kinds of gaskets. That's going to be the best ordeal. So, we're going to have to go find some gaskets and try to do this right about rigging. The old gasser lets you down. Fire the old diesel up. She'll take you to town. Shoot a deer. I reminisce about these days, man, I get a chill. We keep our trucks lifted up so high, we got like them down in a cold. Alright, so we're on the way back. Looks like I'm going to be making gaskets. Ford only used that gasket for a decade or so on dozens of different motors, applications, vehicles, etc., etc. And not one auto parts out of 4 had one gasket in stock. None of them. It just goes to show you, if you have an older vehicle, try to keep parts put away for it if you're going to keep it. Because auto parts ain't going to be stocking our parts no more. It's going to be a 3 or 4 or 5 day wait to get a simple thing like a freaking carburetor gasket. So, we headed back to the house, and I'll show you what I'm going to do to make some gaskets. Alright, so here we go. We finally made all of our homemade gaskets. And we got it almost all put back together. I left the throttle cable and stuff off because if it's still screwed up, I have to take it back apart. So let's see what happens. Okay. Hopefully you just need some gas hookup. Alright. Alright, yeah, that's not sounding too bad so far. Pretty good. Let's see what these have to say. Oh, no. So far, so good. Ah, listen to that. Alright. Man, we ever get that exhaust leak fixed, this thing will sound good if it stays running like this. So, yeah, I don't see no fuel leaks. I don't hear no leaks. Sounds pretty good. Well, where's our magic potion? Alright. Here's your magic potion. You want to try to do this with the engine not being so hot. Alright. That's a mission successful right there. Well, let me tell you what. So, we've been spraying around the gaskets right there. Nothing revved up. Great success.